Okay, I hope it is the correct link I chose. Okay. Dear friends, time for a discussion of drama, non-British literatures, non-British drama. The other day we were talking about British literature. I will share my screen now. Ta-dang! Unit 1 drama, but this is non-British literatures. We have all the paid course people here with us. I am just muting them. Okay. YouTubers, waiting for you to join us. This is day 2. I hope all of you have done your homework. What was the homework? I asked you to read extra on all the authors and works that we discussed yesterday. I hope you have done that. And I hope you watched the video. If you were absent yesterday, please watch the video, because we have covered all the sure shot authors. From those authors, definitely you will get questions in upcoming net. If you are a beginner, don't worry. Just read about these authors, get ready for the classes. In paid course, as well as in YouTube, we will start from the beginning. And you will go over all these writers in detail. So you don't have to worry if you are starting your preparation. If you are at the end of your preparation and going to write the exam, this course is going to help you, because we will have an amazing overview of all the major authors. Okay, guys. I won't be able to read your chat messages while I'm lecturing. So if there is anything important, tell me at the end of the lecture. Okay? In YouTube as well as in Zoom. YouTube babies, are you all ready? Zoom babies, they're already ready. Okay. So let us go on to talk first about the amazing man, Hendrik Ibsen. Hendrik Ibsen was a Norwegian playwright. What is the importance of Ibsen? Ibsen introduced realism in drama. For the first time, he is looking at society, he is looking at families, he is looking at upper class people. And he is showing the motivation for their actions. He is showing how family is disintegrated. He is showing the hypocrisy of people. Hendrik Ibsen was influential throughout Europe. Shall I tell you the major details of Hendrik Ibsen? His was a revolution, because he brought onto the stage the problems of the society. You know, he wrote problem plays. He wrote drama of ideas, which was later applied, the term was applied to George Bernard Shaw also. Drama of ideas, literature of ideas. He laid the foundations of realism. He also started modernism, because he does not show the superficial reality. He goes into reality, shows why people act in a certain way. That is why he led it to modernism. You should read a little bit about Ibsen's life, because they will expect you to know. He belonged to Christiania Theatre. They will check whether you have read a little bit. Tonight or tomorrow morning itself, read a little bit about Ibsen's life and what are the conditions in which he wrote, because definitely that is a sure shot area. Remember, his early plays were written when he lived in Italy. Such questions always come. Where was Ibsen living when he wrote this play? Like that, they will check. So Brand and Peer Gynt are his early plays. They were verse plays written in poetry. Later plays of Ibsen were not written in poetry. The major plays of Ibsen were all written in prose. And also, he rejected the 5-act structure of the well-made play. He did not write in the 5-act structure, which are his important plays that look at the moral faults of his society. The important plays are The Pillars of Society, A Doll's House. Now I am telling you guys, they might ask you chronological arrangement of European plays. You will think, oh my God, I didn't look up European plays, and they asked exactly that. Don't worry. Abhi, yaad dila rahi hu main. I am reminding you. Look up the important milestones of European literature and arrange chronologically. You have time, study, okay? Then the next important play is Ghosts, An Enemy of the People, Hedda Gabler, The Master Builder. Remember, Ibsen's major plays. All his plays you don't have to know. If you know 1 or 2, you will be able to get the answer. Did you understand, guys? So, Doll's House is Ibsen's famous play, 1879. It is a 3-act play. 3 acts only. And about this play, he wrote Notes for a Modern Tragedy, one article. He wrote about this play. It is about Nora and her husband Torvald, isn't it? Everybody knows. Always they have asked questions from Doll's House, excerpts from Doll's House. You know, who said this dialogue? And they will mix it with other similar titles. You will think, oh, is it Anna Karenina? Is it Doll's House? Is it Madame Bovary? Like that, you will become confused in the exam. So it is important to read the play. But if you don't have time, no problem. You should read excerpts, major excerpts before the exam. Promise me you'll do that. Hendrik Ibsen lived from 1828. He died in 1906. You know, that kind of general knowledge will be important. So, homework for you, no spoon feeding. Because of spoon feeding, you will only fail the exam. We want you to pass. You are going to pass this time with JRF. Remaining time is enough. God has given us time. This is not the time to get stressed. This is the time to study really, really hard. Okay, follow what I'm saying. Read Hendrik Ibsen and his important plays, especially Doll's House. They might ask. Several times they have already asked. Got it? Okay, next is Bertolt Brecht. Bertolt Brecht is also very important. They have asked sometimes. Ibsen, they always ask. Brecht, they sometimes ask. 1898. Array, Ibsen 1828. Brecht is 1898. So much later. Brecht was German playwright, theater director, Marxist. He was a friend of Walter Benjamin. Bertolt Brecht was a friend of Walter Benjamin. Remember? Many people, great people were friends of Brecht. Tomorrow, homework. Tomorrow itself or tonight itself, read extra on Bertolt Brecht. Did you understand? Abhi, focus on what I'm saying and read. He talked about epic theater. What is epic theater? You should read. What critics said about epic theater, you should read. They might give a paragraph or one or two lines and say, some critic said this about something. What is it? Who said this about what? From the language itself, you will know it is epic theater. Okay? The question will actually be easy. They only want you to do some extra research and reading. So today itself, what is epic theater? Essay, 10 minutes search karna. 10 minutes you should search. What is epic theater? What did critics say about epic theater? How did it begin? Okay? Read that. And who is Bertolt Brecht? Where did he live? What were the important milestones of his life? Bertolt Brecht milestones, like that Google search. Bertolt Brecht PPT, also Google search. Somebody's PPT, you will get where all the important Bertolt Brecht timeline. Don't take strain to remember. Just read like a child. You should, notice something interesting. You should note, oh, Esada, he was there. Oh, then this would have happened. Like that, play with the information. Then automatically you will remember in the exam without any stress. Okay? For new students, this crash course is to teach you methodology of studying, how to study, how to read. For old students or previous students who are doing exam this time, this crash course is last minute push to read extra so that you will pass this exam. Okay, Bertolt Brecht's epic theater was inspired by Piscator, Mayakovsky, Meyerhold, Chinese theater. Are you all paying attention? Sit with pen and paper if you don't have. Piscator, Mayakovsky, Meyerhold, Chinese theater also. Okay, these people, etc., they might ask some difficult question. Don't say, I never heard. Now you are hearing now. So read. Bertolt Brecht was against Aristotle's dramatic theater. He believed that the spectator should not emotionally identify with the character. The spectator should be detached and think. Instead of emotionally identifying and crying about the character. Don't emotionally identify. Instead, think. Did you understand? You should just criticize, sitting in the theater, criticize, think. Marxist interpretation you should do. That is what Bertolt Brecht wanted you to do. Alienation effect or Verfremdungs effect. Alienation effect you should read extra, because some of the points will keep your mind running. Oh, it is like this, it is like this. Don't think, I know it already. It is easy. You don't know everything. So read a little bit extra for 2-3 minutes. And then in the exam, if they ask a simple question, you will not go wrong. You have to get practice reading. In Verfremdungs effect or alienation effect, there were explanatory captions. Sometimes actors broke the fourth wall. They would lecture, they would summarize, they would sing songs. In my lecture method, I am employing Verfremdungs effect. I am teaching like teaching children, small children. That is alienating you. Suddenly you are thinking, why is she teaching like that? That alienation effect will help you remember in the exam. Did you understand? I learned from these great masters how to teach in a different way. When I teach in a different way, it will help you remember. Same thing is Bertolt Brecht's Verfremdungs effect. All right. Now, Verfremdungs effect was associated with surrealism, theater of cruelty, and Bertolt Brecht departed from. Bertolt Brecht was against what? Stanislavski's naturalistic theater. Stanislavski was a great theater personality, but Bertolt Brecht against it. Bertolt Brecht was a modernist, like a modernist. He was among the modernists. He and Georg Lukács, the Marxist, had a debate. The modernist on the one side, Lukács on the other side. Lukács supported the reflective theory of Marxism. That means literature should reflect the society. Lukács supported reflective theory. He was against the modernists. Are you getting me, everybody? New students, I'm just giving you an overview map. Previous students, last minute revision. Okay, don't get stressed, anybody. This is just fun learning. No stress. Important plays by Bertolt Brecht are Three Penny Opera, Mother Courage and Her Children, then Caucasian Chalk Circle, Life of Galileo, Good Person of Szechuan, Many of these are prescribed. Will you look up important place? Bertolt Brecht MA syllabus, like that. If you Google search, you will find out important place. Okay? Do that tonight or tomorrow morning. Moving on, Luigi Pirandello. Luigi Pirandello. Who is he? He's a major Italian playwright, short story writer, novelist. Luigi Pirandello won Nobel Prize in 1934. You know, he wrote a series of plays called Naked Masks. Naked Masks. So no, if you don't remember everything, it's okay. Just listen to me and enjoy. Life is about enjoyment, and exam is also about enjoyment. If you enjoy and study, you will automatically remember. You don't have to be always right. Luigi Pirandello said, right if you are, if you think you are. That is the name of a play by Pirandello. Right if you are, if you think you are. Will you remember? Pirandello said, you don't have to be right all the time. Right if you are, if you think you are. Pirandello said. And he said this while 6 characters were searching for an author. Remember, 1921 play, so early, 1921, Pirandello. It is an absurdist, meta-theatrical play, parody of well-made play. And sorry, don't write on the screen, Aparna. Now, 6 characters in search of an author, 1921 play. It is meta-theatrical. At the beginning, characters in the play are going to rehearse or enact a play by Pirandello himself. And that is mixing it up. Mixing it up by Pirandello. That is the play that the actors are going to enact. And I'm just removing the annotation that somebody made accidentally. Okay. Right. No problem. Sorry, guys. Pirandello's Mixing It Up is a play that somebody is going to enact. Some actors are going to enact, and they are interrupted by which characters? 6 characters who are searching for an author. Many times they have asked questions based on this. Okay, then there are other plays also by Pirandello. As homework, will you look up? There are important plays by Pirandello, but this is the only important play actually. Right, guys. Next author is, next author nahi. Did you read this magazine? English Mini Mag. Yesterday we released it. We launched it. English Mini Mag. Did you check out? I hope you liked it. I am going to, Team TES actually is working on it, and we are all going to release it every fortnightly, covering all the topics. Okay, guys? Then, next author is Eugene Ionesco. Dekho, such a sweet grandpa he is. Such a sweet grandpa, Eugene Ionesco. He died in 1994. Romanian French playwright. What are the important plays by Ionesco? The Bald Soprano. The Bald Soprano was his first play. Okay, that is not his most famous. Textual questions come from The Chairs, then Rhinoceros, There won't be many deep questions. There will be only very basic questions to check whether you know. What happens in the chairs? In the chairs, an old man and old woman are arranging chairs. Oh, an old man and old woman are arranging chairs everywhere, and they are waiting for guests. What is funny about the guests? The guests are invisible. Except one, all the guests are invisible. Ultimately, they commit suicide. So what happens at the end of the chairs? What happens to the guests? What happens to the old man? Like that, they will ask questions. Rhinoceros is also an important prescribed play. Berenger is the protagonist. This is a character who recurringly appears in Ionesco. In Ionesco's plays, Berenger repeatedly appears. What happens to Berenger? Who does not change into rhinoceros? Like that, they will ask. So what should you do? What should you do? You should read the summary. What is the rhinoceros about? What is the play Rhinoceros about? Like that, you should Google search. Then you will get an easy summary. Like that, tomorrow morning will you read, or tonight itself? Because there might be very important questions from these authors. Okay, I am dealing only with the sure shot authors. Okay, guys. Next is from American literature. From American literature, there are many playwrights. We will deal with the most important ones. Who are the most important playwrights in American literature? The most important playwrights came at the beginning of the 20th century, during the Great Depression. American literature began before that. American literature, we will tomorrow talk about poetry, early American poetry. But drama started mostly in the 20th century proper. Lots of important playwrights emerged in the post-World War period, in the time of Great Depression, in the modernist period. So, Arthur Miller lived from 1915 to 2005. And Arthur Miller is the author of very important works. What are they? The first play is The Man Who Had All the Luck. That is his most important play. And that came in 1944. Will you remember? Then All My Sons came in 1947. Very important textual questions will come. Death of a Salesman. The Crucible. All these came in chronological order like this. All My Sons, Death of a Salesman, The Crucible, A View from the Bridge. Very, very important. All My Sons has the characters Joe Keller and Steve Deaver. Joe Keller and Steve Deaver. Joe Keller is hiding from his own guilt, while Steve Deaver is in prison. Did you understand? And Joe Keller is finally committing suicide. Then Death of a Salesman. Death of a Salesman is the story of Willie Loman. Willie Loman is also committing suicide at the end. He is dying in the hope that his family will get insurance money. Details will be asked. Which of the following is not there in Death of a Salesman? Who says this speech? Something about the character. Detailed summary of these texts are important. The Crucible. John Proctor is the protagonist. It is set against Salem witch trials. Salem witch trials happened in the 17th century. In the 20th century, there was an anti-communist witch hunt. Against communists, there was the witch hunt of Senator Joseph McCarthy. That is what happened at this time when Arthur Miller was writing. Tennessee Williams was actually put under trial at this time. Are you following me, everyone? And these plays are very, very important plays of Arthur Miller. And next playwright is a contemporary of Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams. Both of them are, what are they? They are Depression era playwrights and modernists. Depression era playwrights and modernists. Tennessee Williams is from Mississippi, the South. And he always depicted families, domestic realism. Domestic realism. Okay? Many of his plays are important. His most important play, everybody knows, is the Glass Menagerie. But that need not be the play from which they ask questions. Okay, the Glass Menagerie is very famous, but that may not be the play from which they ask questions. There are many important plays like A Streetcar Named Desire, Suddenly Last Summer, Sweet Bird of Youth. And Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, The Night of the Iguana, etc. And we have to know the characters. There might be match the following. There might be some important details that are asked. There might be quotations asked. There might be chronologically arranged question. Tonight and tomorrow morning, do this practice with yourself. Okay? Test yourself. Read once again. Check out whether you remember everything. Okay. Shall I ask you some questions? You can answer me in your chat box because you might be feeling bored. Huh? We are now half time. Tell me, in which play by Tennessee Williams do we have the Du Bois family? The Du Bois, D-U-B-O-I-S family. Yes, it is A Streetcar Named Desire because Blanche Du Bois is the protagonist, right? In which play by Tennessee Williams is a football player, the main character. An ex-football player is the main character. It is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. In Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Brick is an ex-football player and he loves only football. He doesn't love his wife. Okay, and his family is the story. The setting of the play is the family of Brick. Brick's wife, Maggie, is the cat in the title. Will you remember? Then, in which play do we have a story centering on the death of a homosexual character? The story centers on the death of a homosexual character. Which play by Tennessee Williams? Think, answer. It is the famous play, Suddenly Last Summer. Suddenly Last Summer. Okay, just take a quick look at all the plays. You will be ready for the exam. Don't worry. Okay, this is our Onam. During Onam, we make floral arrangement like this, flower patterns like this. You must have seen. And these days people don't do because we don't get flowers and we don't have time and all that. But this is our tradition. And our Onam is actually tomorrow and day after. And we have Onam sale going on in Bodhitri right now, September 6 to 10. If there is any book that you need, many of you have all our books. But if there are any books remaining that you haven't bought, now is the time to get it. And this is the last sale before this net. And as soon as net is over, new books will come. such as Encyclopedia on Literature of the Americas in 2 volumes. It is coming. They are twins, our twins. 2 books, 2 volumes. They are getting ready and they are twins, okay? We call them Sita and Gita. Will you buy our Sita and Gita and study with them? They are awesome. I'm so sorry. I was not able to bring it out before this exam though. Will you forgive me? Okay, so that is about Onam sale. This is not any author. The next author is Amiri Baraka. He is an African-American author. Amiri Baraka or Leroy Jones. That is his another name. Leroy Jones was his Christian name. He gave it up and took the name Amiri Baraka. You might know his major play Dutchman. His play Dutchman is very famous. Amiri Baraka was a crusader against white oppression. Did you know that? He was very important figure in the black movement of the 1960s, black power movement of the 1960s. Have you heard of that? That is very important. And he wrote many important works, including poetry and novel also. The System of Dante's Hell is his novel, Amiri Baraka's novel. He has written a famous autobiography. Amiri Baraka wrote the play Dutchman, 1964. Dutchman is a play in which a white woman is killing a black man. You know, this is an early play, 1964. A black man is there, Clay. He is going for some interview or somewhere. He is just an ordinary, normal person. And a white woman gets on the train and she starts talking to him and she starts giving him apples. And finally, she provokes him so much and he is angry. He talks about white oppression. And then what happens? She sticks a knife into him and kills him. Clay dies at the end. Clay is murdered at the end. That is the central conflict of the play. The black man is trying to assimilate into white civilization, but he is not able to. There will be many questions in the exam, checking whether you know what is the theme of important works. Okay? It may not be very easy questions. If you understand deeply only, you may be able to answer. So, that is Amiri Baraka. African-American literature is very important, guys. In the exam, at least 1 or 2 questions will be there for sure from African-American literature. Okay, remember that. The next author is also African-American. It is Lorraine Hansberry. Lorraine Hansberry, 1930 born. She was the first black woman to write a play that was performed in Broadway. What is Broadway? Broadway is a street in Manhattan, in New York. And that is where all the richest theaters of USA are situated. Lorraine Hansberry was born in Chicago and she belonged to a family of activists. Her parents were the first black people to live in a white neighborhood. Are you feeling bored? Or is this interesting? Are you enjoying? I hope you are not bored. I am trying to speak in an animated manner so that you won't be bored. Okay, Lorraine Hansberry's famous play from 1959 is A Raisin in the Sun. A Raisin in the Sun. A Raisin in the Sun addresses many issues important during the 1950s, including black people living in a white neighborhood. In A Raisin in the Sun, the title is taken from Langston Hughes's poem, A Dream Deferred. In that play, Lorraine Hansberry shows the younger family. They are a family of blacks, and they are awaiting an insurance check that will come after the death of their father. The father of that family has died. They are awaiting an insurance check, and every member of the family has a different plan for the insurance money. Finally, they decide to go and live in a white neighborhood. For the first time, this black family is going to live in a white neighborhood. That is the revolutionary decision they take at the end. Okay, younger family. Will you remember? A Raisin in the Sun, 1959. They might ask you chronological arrangement of path-breaking works. Remember to look them up. Remember to make your own notes, even in this last minute. Okay, now tomorrow morning, read on Raisin in the Sun. All right, guys. Next is Vole Soyinka. Wow. We are coming to post-colonialism. You know that among the playwrights of Africa, Vole Soyinka is the greatest. Born in 1934 in Nigeria, Vole Soyinka was the first person to be awarded Nobel Prize. He got Nobel Prize in 1986. He presented Yoruba culture, and he criticized many Nigerian military dictators. And what happened? He had to go into exile. He criticized the dictators and had to go into exile. And his plays include The Swamp Dwellers, The Lion and the Jewel. Lion and the Jewel is prescribed. Baraka is a crafty man. He marries Sidi. That is the legendary story that he tells in Lion and the Jewel. What does Vole Soyinka do in his plays? He tells Nigerian stories, Yoruba stories. And he criticizes Nigerian culture also. Okay? Then he wrote A Dance of the Forest. That is also important. He is criticizing Nigerian society there. Nigerian society is on the brink of independence at this time. And he is criticizing the society. The Strong Breed, The Road, Madmen and Specialists. These are all important plays by Vole Soyinka. Nigeria is not the only important country in Africa. Nigeria dominated over other African countries actually. There are other countries from where also playwrights, etc. have, novelists and writers have emerged. Okay. One more play by Vole Soyinka is Death and the King's Horseman. Death and the King's Horseman. It is based on an actual incident, like our Sati in India, Sati, where women were supposed to die after their husbands. Like that, when a king died, the horseman was supposed to commit suicide in Yoruba culture. That is death. That is the basis of Death and the King's Horseman. Will you remember, guys? There are many African playwrights. Ngugi wa Thiong'o also wrote plays. Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote a play for which he was imprisoned. He wrote plays. Many African playwrights wrote plays. Drama is a basic genre in African literature. But in the exam, I think all these playwrights may not be important. So at least focus on Vole Soyinka. Okay, that is what I mean. Vole Soyinka is very important. At least Vole Soyinka you should know. That is what I mean. Then Derek Walcott. He is not African. He is Caribbean. Caribbean islands are the West Indies islands below USA, in the south of USA. Don't you know? And Derek Walcott was the first Caribbean to get Nobel Prize. He was born in St. Lucia. And he was a very important figure in drama as well as poetry. He won many awards, including the Nobel Prize. And his major plays are Dream on Monkey Mountain, which is the story of a black man called Macaque or Monkey. He is having a dream. And it is about his own identity. He learns a few things. He learns to embrace his own identity at the end. That is what Dream on Monkey Mountain is about. When I show somebody's name on the screen, as homework, you have to read up on these writers, okay? Tonight and tomorrow. Those who read up on these writers will tell me after 2 months, ma'am, result has come, I have passed. Those who don't read will tell me, ma'am, help me, I want to pass. After 2 months. What do you want to tell me? You can decide. If you read tomorrow and tonight along with me, you may pass because these authors will come in the exam. Remember, guys, Pantomime is a play by Derek Walcott, which is based on Robinson Crusoe. He has written Remembrance, The Isle is Full of Noises, many plays. As I told you, read up. And his important poems also, tomorrow we will talk about. Tomorrow, nay, day after tomorrow. Okay, Derek Walcott is an important poet as well. Next is Indian playwrights. I don't want to go into Indian playwrights in great detail because, why? Because English in India, there we will deal with them anyway. But Indian literature is very important and a lot of material is not there also. So remember, Indian should not be avoided. You should study really well. The first major writer is none other than Rabindranath Tagore. Playwright, you know, and Rabindranath Tagore lived before the independence and during the independence. He was born in 1861, passed away in 1941. Just before independence, he passed away, but his works lived on during the independence. After the independence, Rabindranath Tagore's works, I wrongly said he lived after the independence. He passed away before independence, but his works became so famous during the independence, and they were like the mirror held up to Indian culture after the independence also, because he was our first Nobel laureate. He got Nobel Prize in 1913. As you know, he was like a prophet. He was a poet. He was a short story writer and novelist. He was a playwright and philosopher. Everywhere he is there. And he also wrote autobiography, Jeevan Smriti. Okay, some questions might be asked from Rabindranath Tagore also. Rabindranath Tagore's plays, novels, short stories, all important. Chitra, The Post Office. These are very famous plays. And you could look up Rabindranath Tagore MA syllabus to find out what all plays are being prescribed in MA syllabi. Muktadhara. Muktadhara is a political play. Muktadhara means what? Waterfall. It is a political play. Okay. So please look up tomorrow itself all these authors, including Rabindranath Tagore. Now, guys, the most important period for us in Indian drama is the post-independence period. In the post-independence period, there were modernist playwrights, postmodern playwrights. Post-independence drama was experimental, social. There was a lot of criticism. The first playwright we have is Badal Sarkar, 1925. He was also Bengali. Bengal was the seat of Renaissance, like Maharashtra also was, or Tamil Nadu also was, Andhra Pradesh also was. So Badal Sarkar was a pioneering writer of drama, and he wrote anti-establishment plays during the Naxalbari movement. Badal Sarkar's Evam Indrajit is very famous. His theatre, the people who enacted his plays were the Shatabdi group of playwrights, actors, Shatabdi theatre group. And that other history, there is no end. These are also important plays. Evam Indrajit came in 1962. Evam Indrajit came in 1962. Talk about Naxalbari movement. There is Mahashweta Devi, who wrote novels as well as plays. Short stories also. Novels, short stories, plays. Remember, Mahashweta Devi's 5 plays is a very important work. 5 plays. It was translated by Samik Bandyopadhyay, and it has important plays like Bain. Some of her works are both stories as well as drama. Mother of 1084, Bain. These are very famous. Mother of 1084 or Hajar Chaurashir Ma is about a mother who follows her revolutionary son's footsteps after his death. Sujata and Brati, they are the important characters. Guys, all the time they don't ask very deep questions. Sometimes they only check whether you have read. Sometimes they ask you questions to know whether you know character names, whether you know themes briefly, whether you know chronology, okay, even titles. You know, which of the following is not a work by Mahashweta Devi? Like that also they can ask. The next playwright I have put here is Girish Karnad. Girish Karnad is a major Kannada playwright, as all of you know. He was born in 1938 in Maharashtra-Karnataka border. What did Karnad do? Karnad mixed history, mythology, contemporary society. He was a major actor, playwright, and famous personality, isn't it? There are many plays based on myths. His first play, Yayati, then Bali the Sacrifice, the Fire and the Rain. Bali the Sacrifice is based on myth also. So these are important plays. There are other plays like Hayavadana and Nagamandala that are always prescribed. Tughlaq. Hayavadana, Nagamandala, Tughlaq. They might ask you textual questions. Also Flowers, Tale Danda. Flowers is in the form of a monologue of a priest. Wedding Album, another play. All these have already been asked in Set and Net. And along with Girish Karnad, I am reminded of Asif Karimboy. Asif Karimboy was also a very major playwright. His Goa, Dole Drummers, The Refugee, these are famous. Inquilab, these are very famous. Asif Karimboy, The Hungry Ones. Will you remember, guys? Look up Asif Karimboy also. Next writer we have is Vijay Tendulkar. Along with Vijay Tendulkar, I am also remembering Kiran Nagarkar. Both these can be asked. Both these playwrights can be asked. Both of them are from Maharashtra. Kiran Nagarkar wrote mostly in Marathi and translated into English. Vijay Tendulkar has written in English also. And he wrote about contemporary society, gender, violence, you know, communal themes, etc. His most famous plays are Shantada, Court Chalu Aahe, or the Silence, the Court is in Session. Then there are plays like Sakharam Binder, then Kanyadan, Ghashiram Kotwal. All these plays are prescribed in various universities. Silence, the Court is in Session is a very deep play based on gender issues. Leela Banare is the unforgettable chief character, the protagonist of this play. Silence, the Court is in Session. It is structured in the form of a play within the play. A group of local people are enacting a play, a rehearsal, and within the rehearsal doesn't take place. They are doing a mock trial. So it is a play within play within play. There is a real play that they are going to enact, for which they are doing a rehearsal, and the rehearsal is not even happening. Before that, there is a mock trial. At the mock trial, Leela Banare has to act as a mother who is being put under trial for female infanticide. She killed her baby daughter, the character. But then it is revealed that the woman Leela Banare, who is acting that role, is herself pregnant and she is unmarried. And the man who made her pregnant is a married man. He is not even present there. But this woman is tortured by everybody. And she is asked to abort her child. She gives a famous monologue against gender discrimination in the play. So like I spoke now, you should be able to speak about these plays. For Indian literature, you can read the relevant parts of dissertations. People have written dissertations in Shodh Ganga. If you check out Shodh Ganga and dissertations, you will get summaries of important works. If you don't know before the exam, that is a shortcut. But don't use shortcuts always. You should read the plays also if possible. But just before the exam, that may not be possible, isn't it? So I hope you will read up on Vijay Tendulkar's plays, also Kiran Nagarkar. Finally, there is Mahesh Dattani. Mahesh Dattani was the first playwright to get Sahitya Academy Award for drama in English. Mahesh Dattani is contemporary playwright, 1958 born. He has written a lot of plays depicting the complexities of family, patriarchy, homosexuality, transgender issues, etc., child abuse, etc. All his plays are important. There can be a question asked about any of his plays. Definitely, before the exam, you should read up on Mahesh Dattani's plays if you don't know already. It will take only like 15 minutes to find out what is Where There Is a Will about. That is his first play, Where There Is a Will, Dance Like a Man. In Dance Like a Man, we have a Bharatnatyam dancer, Jairaj Parekh, and his wife Ratna. Okay, gender issues and patriarchy. In There Is a Will, also same issue. Bravely Fought the Queen. Tara, before that, Tara is there. Tara is about conjoined twins, Tara and Chandan. The family is separating the twins by surgery, but they can save only one of them. They said, let the boy live. We don't want the girl. And Tara dies. Chandan is later very upset knowing the truth. What happened to his sister, he found out. And then Bravely Fought the Queen is about two wealthy brothers who married two sisters. This is also about patriarchal oppression and homosexuality. Bravely Fought the Queen. Final Solutions is about, again, homosexuality. Final Solutions is not about homosexuality. Communal riot. Final Solutions is about communal riot between Hindus and Muslims that is happening, and there is a family, a Hindu family. They are facing the question whether they should give shelter to two Muslim boys. That is the theme in Final Solutions. On a Muggy Night in Mumbai is the play based on theme of homosexuality. Kamlesh is a fashion designer living in a posh flat. He is homosexual. He had a homosexual relationship, and his ex-partner is going to get married. To Kamlesh's horror, he discovers that his partner is going to marry his own sister. Kamlesh's sister is going to marry Kamlesh's ex-partner. So the complications of all that. 7 circles round the fire is based on transgender, killing transgender, women is very rampant. Trans women is very rampant in India, that theme. 30 days in September is about child abuse. Mother and daughter are both abused by the same man. Brief Candle is about a group of cancer patients. Where Did I Leave My Parda is about an aging actress. She's looking back on her glorious youth. Okay, so I have given you in a nutshell these plays. You should read on your own. You should make notes on your own. And that is all for tonight from my side. Now, for half an hour, we will have rapid fire from Team TES. Team TES have worked and made a lot of questions. And Reshma is here with us. Reshma will ask you rapid fire questions. And I will also be here chipping in with whatever I know. Canadian drama is not that famous. I mean, it is famous, but it is not sure shot. For sure, they will not ask George Raiga, etc. That is why I did not include. As I told you, we are dealing with sure shot authors only. For sure they will ask that kind of authors. That is why I did not include. Okay, Reshma, over to you. Can I invite you to? Are you the host? Wait 1 second, guys. All right, Reshma is host, and you can share your screen. I will be here invisible.
Ma'am, will you please share the screen?
Okay, fine.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Hope you all know me. I'm Reshma. Good evening. Are you excited? I'm sure excited to meet you all. Hello.
Yes. Day 1, I'm sorry, mistake.
Okay.
I didn't know I had to share the screen. I don't know where I saved the file. Come on, Reshma. Day 2, got it, thankfully.
If you have listened to ma'am's discussion and wrote down the main points, you can surely answer all the questions.
Yeah. First question.
Yes. First question. Which play by Harold Painter has the character Max, a retired butcher? Is it The Birthday Party? Is it The Dumb Waiter? Is it The Homecoming? Is it The Room? Yes, answers are coming. Max, a retired butcher. So many answers are coming.
Yes. So what is the answer?
The answer is The Homecoming.
Guys, Harold Pinter wrote Comedy of Menace. And The Homecoming is a very important play where Teddy is bringing home his wife, Ruth, from USA. And Max is his father. Max and Teddy's brothers, Max's brother. So many men are there in the house. the relationship that they develop with Ruth. That is the main theme of the play. It is an absurd play with a very disturbing plot and very ironic, symbolic plot also. Ruth becomes like a prostitute there in that house. Okay, Harold Pinter is a very important writer. Next question.
Next one. Which play opens with the character Rose having a one-person dialogue with her husband Bert, who remains silent throughout the whole scene? Is it The Room? Is it The Trial? Is it Betrayal? Or is it The Go-Between? Rose and Bert.
Husband and wife, and the wife is like trapped in a room. That is the clue.
Yes.
What is the answer, Reshma?
Yes, ma'am.
The answer is The Room.
Yes.
And the husband can go out, but the wife is like trapped within that room. And this is also Comedy of Menace. This is actually the first play by Pinter. The second play by Pinter was The Birthday Party. The Room has a claustrophobic setting. Next question.
Yes. The next question is Drums in the Night is a play by Harold Pinter, Eugene Ionesco, Bertolt Brecht, or George Caesar. Drums in the Night.
Have you heard of Drums in the Night? It was an early play, 1920 or something. So it cannot be Harold Pinter. He was much later. The answer is?
The answer is Bertolt Brecht. So many of you have answered correctly.
Wow, they're awesome. Drums in the Night is one of the earliest plays of Brecht. He was not even a Marxist at this time. Brechtian style had not developed at this time. Somebody's not muted, I guess. Okay. Sorry guys. I am such a messy presenter. Okay. So remember, Bertolt Brecht's major plays are very, very important. You should look up early plays, later plays. Next question.
The next question. Cadus appears in the play Dash by Albert Camus. Caligula, The State of Siege, The Possessed, or Revolted Asturias. Albert Camus' play. In which play did Cadus appear?
Answer is?
Answer is The State of Siege.
Remember, guys, Albert Camus was a very important absurdist writer. And he has written novels, short stories, plays, non-fiction. And Albert Camus' Caligula, The State of Siege, The Just Assassin, these are all important. Reshma?
Yes, ma'am. Next question. Who popularized the idea of new woman through his or her plays? Is it Virginia Woolf? Is it Hendrik Ibsen? Or is it Edward Albee? Or Simone de Beauvoir?
They know that one, I guess. The answer is?
Hendrik Ibsen. Correct answer.
Yes. What is a new woman? New woman is a masculinist woman who lives like a man, who does a man's job, who takes life in her own hand. who does not succumb to patriarchy. Hendrik Ibsen's Nora is a new woman. We have new women in George Bernard Shaw's plays also. New woman actually existed in many works in the Victorian period as well as early 20th century. Next.
Next question. Who among the following coined the phrase the theatre of cruelty? If you had listened to Max yesterday's lecture, you can guess this answer. Is it Samuel Beckett? Is it Antonin Artaud? Is it Martin Esslin? Or is it Harold Pinter?
It is a French writer. Answer is
Antonin Artaud.
See, guys, Theatre of Cruelty was developed by Antonin Artaud in the book Theatre and its Double. Artaud aimed to shock audiences through the use of unconventional sounds, gestures, lighting, etc. And Artaud's ideas influenced many people. Samuel Beckett, Jean Genet, even Carol Churchill. That is where I mentioned Artaud yesterday. Okay, Reshma, next.
Next question. Which play by August Strindberg is about the adventures of a young student who idealizes the lives of the inhabitants of an apartment building in Stockholm? The options: The Dance of Death, The Father, Paria, The Ghost Sonata.
Remember, Strindberg is remembered for expressionism. A young student thinks that people living in an apartment building are all living great lives. But when he enters the building and sees the reality for himself, he knows that he was mistaken. That is the story. August Strindberg was Swedish. What is the answer?
The answer is The Ghost Sonata.
August Strindberg's plays could be important. He has written Miss Julie, The Father, A Dream Play, The Ghost Sonata, etc. Will you remember, guys? August Strindberg. You should look up, okay? Next, Reshma.
Yes. Next question. The Homecoming, The Hunted, and The Haunted are three parts of a play by, is it Ada Miller? Is it Eugene O'Neill? Is it Tennessee Williams or Edward Albee?
The Homecoming.
Yes.
The Homecoming, The Hunted, and The Haunted correspond to three parts of Orestia. The answer is
Eugene O'Neill.
These are the three parts of Morning Becomes Electra. Morning Becomes Electra is based on the Orestia. Instead of Electra, we have Lavinia here. Instead of Agamemnon, we have Ezra. So Eugene O'Neill has closely followed the story of Orestia, and Morning Becomes Electra means, what does the title mean? It means morning completely takes over Electra. Electra becomes morning. It is a trilogy, Homecoming, Hunted, and Haunted, modeled on Aeschylus. But it is set in New England during the American Civil War. Christine is Clytemnestra. Orestes is represented as Orin. So all these characters are modeled on Aeschylus's characters. There is another play by Eugene O'Neill modeled on Greek tragedy. That is Desire Under the Elms. Desire Under the Elms. Okay, guys, are you enjoying this? Next question.
Next question. Joe Keller and Steve Deaver are characters in Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Of Mice and Men, All My Sons, or The Iceman Comes.
Guys, you should study Eugene O'Neill. You should study Edward Albee. I have not included them in the lecture, but we included them in the questions. They are very important. I already told you Joe Keller and Steve Deaver in the lecture. Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf is by Edward Albee. The Iceman Cometh is by Eugene O'Neill again. Remember to look up those also. The answer here is Joe Keller and Steve Deaver are characters in which play, Reshma?
All My Sons.
Yes. All My Sons itself is based on a play by Ibsen, The Wild Duck. Okay, these points you should remember, guys. Next question.
Which character by Tennessee Williams take bath obsessively? Do you know which character it is? Is it Maggie Pollitt? Is it Amanda Wingfield? Is it Linda Loman? Or is it Blanche DuBois?
Maggie Pollitt is in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Amanda Wingfield is in Glass Menagerie. Linda Loman is in Death of a Salesman. Blanche DuBois is in A Streetcar Named Desire. And the answer is
Blanche DuBois.
In A Streetcar Named Desire, Blanche DuBois takes bath obsessively because she is frustrated with her passing youth. She wants to hide her own mistakes. She is trying to wash off her past, her sins in frustration. You know, it's a very symbolic play. Streetcar Named Desire. And it is representative of the lost glory of America during the Great Depression. Next question, Reshma.
Next one. Who among the following is associated with the idea of plastic theatre? Tennessee Williams, Bertolt Brecht, Harold Pinter, or Arthur Miller? And the answers are coming.
What is plastic theatre? As you might expect from the word plastic, it is not literal. It is poetic. It is experimental, symbolic. And the answer is?
Tennessee Williams.
That is right. Tennessee Williams coined the term plastic theatre. And this referred to elements of expressionism and symbolism. Plastic theatre was inspired by experimentation in theatre. And it presented poetic truths through symbolism. Will you remember that, guys? Next question now.
Yes. This question, what is the name of the play within the play in 6 characters in search of an author? The question is, which play is there in the original text of 6 characters in search of an author? Mixing it up was there in the play when it was premiered and it was shown on stage. In the original text, Which play was there? Options, the rules of the game. So it is, each in his own way, the imbecile.
And what is the answer? I only said mixing it up in my lecture.
Yes.
So Reshma is giving an additional information here. The answer is?
The rules of the game.
So remember, both these plays are there in 6 characters in search of an author. Originally in the text, it said rules of the game. Later, when the play was premiered, when 6 characters was premiered, it said mixing it up. Do you remember? Okay, next question. Ta-da!
Yes. Lula and Clay are characters in the play dashed by Amiri Baraka. You know it because ma'am had told it in the lecture. Is it Dutchman? Is it the slave? Is it a black mass? Or is it baptism?
And the answer is?
The answer is Dutchman.
Amiri Baraka wrote Dutchman set in a metro train where a black man, Clay, is being murdered by Lula and nothing happens. It is an absurdist play. Remember, guys? And
the next question, who among the following is not an Aboriginal Australian playwright? Jack Davis, Jane Harrison, Bob Mazza, or Thompson Highway, who is not an Aboriginal Australian playwright.
I did not include Aboriginal Australian playwrights in short authors. But remember, guys, one question might come from there because they are very important. One of them is a Native American, not Aboriginal. Who is it? It is
Thompson Highway.
He is not Native Australian, he is Native American. Native literature of America, Canada, Australia, you should know a little bit. It is important.
Next question. Which of the following is not true about The Strong Breed by Vole Soinka? The options. It is a tragedy that ends with an individual sacrifice for the sake of the communal benefit. The play is based on an Igbo tradition. A man is the protagonist of the play, and a man flees during the ritual. Which of these is not true about The Strong Breed?
Remember, guys, there will be textual questions to check whether you have read the major works. Which of these is not true? Actually, the answer is easy. Ta-dang!
The play is based on an Igbo tradition.
It is Yoruba tradition. I said that several times in the lecture. Vole Soinka wrote about Yoruba tradition, not Igbo.
Yes. Next question. Which play centers on a black macaque who despises himself
for being black? Macaque is coming to terms with his identity in the play. Is it O Babylon, Remembrance, Dream on Monkey Mountain, or The Lion and the Jewel? The answer is?
Dream. Yes, ma'am. Dream on Monkey Mountain.
We already discussed this a little bit. Macaque is getting a dream and coming to terms with his identity. Dream on Monkey Mountain by Derek Walcott.
Now, who is a major proponent of third theatre in India? Is it Badal Sarkar? Is it P. Lal? Is it Mahesh Dadani? Or is it Rabindranath Tagore?
third theatre and such movements in India are important? They might ask you. Answer is
Badal Sarkar.
Badal Sarkar is an experimental writer of the Naxalite period. And his group, Third Theatre, associated with Shatabdi group. It was a big movement in India. Next.
Ginny, who appears in a video phone, is a character in which play? Is it Harvest? Is it Tara? Or The Fire and the Rain? Or Dance Like a Man? Ginny.
It is about, the play is about organ harvesting. I did not mention as a sure shot author, but this author is often prescribed in universities. It is Manjula Padmanabhan. The answer is
Harvest.
Harvest. Yes. Harvest by Manjula Padmanabhan. Remember, Harvest and Lights Out by Manjula Padmanabhan are important and often prescribed in universities. Next.
In which of these plays is the stage dominated by a crescent-shaped ram? Is it A Muggy Night in Mumbai? Is it Harvest? Is it Final Solutions? Is it The Fire and the Rain?
It is on this crescent-shaped ramp that the communal riot is happening. So, you know the answer, it is Final Solutions. Final Solutions is the answer. Reshma, are you there? Reshma's connection is having some problem, I think. Uma Parmeshwaran's Sita's Promise is a dash. Is it a street play, closet drama, dance drama, or historical play? Uma Parmeshwaran is an important Indo-Canadian playwright. Reshma, your connection is going, we can't hear you sometimes. That's why I read.
Okay, ma'am. I thought, yeah, something happened. Sorry, ma'am.
The answer is?
Okay. Dance drama.
Yes. Sita's Promise by Uma Parmeshwaran is dance drama. Remember, Carol Churchill also used dance drama. Reshma?
Yes, ma'am. Now question. Which of these plays has a Muslim Dhobi named Hafiz, who disguised as a Brahmin and is a principal character in the play? Is it the Dole Drummers? Is it the Final Solutions? Is it Tughlaq? Is it Charandas Story?
A Muslim dhobi named Aziz disguised as a Brahmin. The answer is?
Answer is Tughlaq.
Remember, the minor details of these major plays also could be important. Please go through the detailed summaries before the exam. Look at the characters and all the details of major plays. Next.
Identify the Indian playwrights who have explored the theme of homosexuality. Options: Badal Sarkar and Javed Siddiqui, Mahesh Dadani and Vijay Tendulkar, Girish Karnad and Mahesh Dadani, or Pratap Sharma and Oli Sehgupta.
You know this one, I guess. It is Mahesh Dadani and Vijay Tendulkar. Both of them have explored homosexuality and other gender themes. So that is the end of today's rapid fire also. We have stopped at 9:30 sharp. Thank you so much, Reshma and Team TES, for all the amazing questions. Thank you from all of us. Thank you, YouTubers. Thank you, Zoom babies, everybody. Now go and do your homework. Bye-bye, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the session. I am ending the live stream for tonight. We will be back tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Good night, ma'am.
Reshma, you should end the session because you are the host.